All right, guys, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming and Tech Reviews. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to talk about Assassin's Creed Mirage. Valley of Memory DLC. So we just completed that in a live stream. It took like 3 hours and 30 minutes to do the main story campaign. I don't want to spoil it in the review just because, you might want to just play this on your own. Everybody that wanted to watch came and watched, and, we had a good time. It was going and checking out the Valley of Memory, man. Holy crap. I love the way that Ubisoft recreates these historical places and fills them with life and fills them with time appropriate content. And, you just kind of get this sense of I love role playing these freaking Assassin's Creed games or Ubisoft open world games. I love being there. I love the way it makes me feel when I play these games. I just feel like, I mean, it is such a freaking comfort food for me. It really is. Ubisoft is the comfort food. It is my comfort food of video games. They will always be my favorite freaking publisher, hands down. The worlds that they create are just so full of spectacle, so full of freaking immersion. And I mean, I can kind of get why people would be turned off about these types of games, but for me, that's crazy to think that people would be, so just out of tune with what Ubisoft builds. I mean, I used to sit and, play games and always wish that, oh man, I wish there was more, I grew up in a simpler time, man. I grew up with games that were like every game was 3 to 5 hours to beat, It was crazy. You get through a whole freaking Devil May Cry 2 in 8 hours or less, and it was done. You'd seen everything, and with Ubisoft games, man, with these big open world games that they create, it just gives me so much content. I spent, 65 hours Assassin's Creed Odyssey getting through that. I mean, I think Origins took about that long too. Obviously, Valhalla took that long. And for me, to get into these games and start playing them and to literally be able to sit there for a whole week or 2 weeks sometimes and just dedicate all my playing time to this. Well, not all my playing time. Obviously, I would stop and do some sim racing or stuff like that. And it was much different before starting this channel. I was able to just sit there and really focus my free time on these games and just play them. And to me, I just got such a, I mean, if other games came out around the same time, I'd be able to get through those and stuff too. But Ubisoft, I would play those games all year long. And I still literally play Origins. I still go back and play Unity, for freak's sake. And I mean, just the other day I was playing Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, and it's I keep going back to these games because I love the worlds, I love the characters, I love the atmosphere that they bring to gaming for me. And and when I don't have Assassin's Creed to play, I've got Ghost Recon. When I don't got Ghost Recon, I've got Rainbow Six. When I don't got Rainbow Six, I've got freaking Far Cry. I've got Watch Dogs. I've got so many. Avatar, Skull and Bones, The Crew Motorfest. There's just so many of them. And Ubisoft literally touches on every single genre that I like to play. And just recently, they even introduced me to a new genre, city building, with Anno 1117 Pax Romana, and it's just an incredible experience that I didn't even know I ever wanted to play. To be completely honest with you, I got into that and I immediately found myself super immersed in that experience, and I'm like, gosh dang. And so I've been playing that. In between everything else that I'm doing right now. Next month, what is it, like 15 days, a little more than 15 days, we're getting a new update for Avatar that's going to give us a third-person mode and finally truly change that game into the experience that I think should have been there from the beginning. And honestly, like, I know that Ubisoft already worked so hard to build these games, and they build some of the most incredible games. I mean, like Star Wars freaking Outlaws, man. Everybody wanted to be negative about that game, and I look at it and I'm just like, why are you guys so negative, man? It's a freaking video game. I had such a good time with that I was like, and literally I played it day one with all of the before all of the fixes and everything came through, and I still came away from that game happy, satisfied. After spending my 70 buckaroos, I was happy. I was satisfied. Like, it fully immersed me, it fully entertained me, and it gave me an incredible experience that I'm like, gosh dang, new characters to like and add to my collection of favorite characters. Look, nobody builds games like Ubisoft. And I think a lot of people get upset about that. I honestly think that that's really what it is, because their best good favorite games can't be as good or as immersive as a Ubisoft game. I'm just joking. Maybe not. Look, there's a lot of immersive games out there. There's a lot of incredible games out there to play. And Ubisoft hits the mark for me every single time. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I really mean that. There's very few games that come out from Ubisoft that I buy that I'm never happy with. I think maybe, what was it, like Far Cry 5 maybe? I was like, well, I don't really ever finish the Far Cry games. If they had a third person mode, I absolutely would. But even those, I'll spend a ton of time running around and exploring the beautiful worlds that Ubisoft creates. It's just, those ones there are probably my least sought after Ubisoft games, but I buy every single one of them. I buy them all, and I still play them. I still put in some time, because they always tell you, if you want more of something, keep buying it. And so I do. I try to buy everything. I literally used to buy the Just Dance games until the kids and everybody grew up and they're like, yeah, we don't want to play that stuff anymore. And I'm like, oh man. I was like, dang it, that sucks. But yeah, man, like, I look at this experience that we just got through. Assassin's Creed, Mirage. Bassam's character in Valhalla, obviously, if you played Valhalla, you know how that kind of turns out, but being able to go back and experience the story of Bassam in a more Assassin's Creed 1 type setting, where it kind of takes you back to that, like, that Middle Eastern experience, and just kind of like, put you in the middle of Baghdad in the 8th century or whatever, 9th century, is it 8th century or 9th century? I don't know. But put you back there, and you get to experience this game, and I don't know, maybe transport yourself there, use your imagination a little bit, I mean, I think people just, they want to read too far into things, and it's just like, why? Like, I can't think of one game, like, I'm not even saying, like, joking, I can't think of one game that's better than a Ubisoft game. Like, seriously. I mean, they all have their little things that they do, and their little, waste your time freaking missions and stuff like that. I mean, even The Witcher 3, with how good that game is, it's still just as, like, there's still things that I hear people complain about that. I don't like the combat animations, or I don't like this, or I don't like the way Geralt talks, and it's just like, I'm like, when did we start getting so picky over video games? I remember, like, seriously, but back in the day, Resident Evil was one of my favorite games, and the freaking dialogue in that game was so cheesy. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Like, you go back and play some of this. Maybe that's why I appreciate games as much as I do, is because, man, I legit grew up in the freaking 80s and 90s playing like 2D side scrollers and, just everything. I grew up through everything, and now we're to the point where we're like getting incredible visuals. We're getting big, giant games that last a long time. We used to legit get 6-hour freaking video games. Like, I'm not even joking. And we used to pay $100 for them on the freaking Super Nintendo. And that was a lot of money back then. That was literally a lot of money back then. And nowadays it's like, we're spoiled. We're spoiled freaking rotten. And it sucks. But yeah, I guess there was this thing that Ubisoft was talking about, you know, gamers are, you know, spending more time in like in other games. And that's true. And that's true. I've noticed that myself, you know, with like live service games and stuff. People are sticking to, you know, certain games just more often, and they're just not buying as many games, you know, going forward. But I think that one of the things is, you know, you just get so much negativity on the internet. You know, people are always just, you know, negative about one thing or another. But I truly hope that Ubisoft knows that there's enough of us fans out there that we love your games. We're going to buy them day one, no matter what. Like, we're going to buy them, you know, and maybe plan for that. Maybe plan for that, you know, maybe not like super overextend yourself anymore, guys. Maybe tighten things up a little bit, you know, for launch. And then if the game does really good, you know, then do what you just did with Assassin's Creed Mirage, or, you know, bring another, you know, Claws of Awage DLC for like a Assassin's Creed Shadows. You know, pace it, you know, you know, don't put all your eggs in the one basket. You know how the internet is these days. Everybody wants to just cry about every single thing. So, all right, my friends, I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Mirage, Valley of Memory. I thought it was absolutely incredible. Very fun freaking DLC. Was able to finish it in one sitting. Like, that's incredible. I absolutely love it. I thought it was good. Hopefully you get a chance to play it. I believe the game is actually on sale right now too. If you go to the store, the DLC is free. So if you wanted to grab yourself a copy of, yeah, it's 15 buckaroos, man. I absolutely, between that, you're at like 24 hours of gameplay. I think it was like 17 hours to complete the main campaign. And then you've got another like 3 to 6 hours of DLC on top of that now with the Valley of Memory. Incredible price, 15 bucks, absolutely worth it. This is a pretty high quality experience, you know, and it's not gonna waste your time. It's not gonna waste your time. I had a really good time playing Assassin's Creed Mirage through the campaign a couple of years ago when it came out. I thought it was absolutely incredible, and damn, I enjoyed the heck out of that. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So if you're one of the older nostalgia Assassin's Creed fans, absolutely pick this game up right now. Play through this game and the DLC. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to have fun. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.